This is the best New Balance drop of 2025, and it's the follow-up to my favorite New Balance collaboration of all time. This is the New Balance 992 Joe Freshgoods Aged Well. Inside this box is a pair that I've been looking forward to since I heard about it releasing, which I'm not sure exactly when that was, but it's a follow-up to one of my favorite sneakers in my entire collection. You guys may know it. It is the Joe Freshgoods, The Anatomy of a Heart. So this pair is sort of the 5-year homage to the original release, which again is one of my favorite sneakers in my entire collection. I love this shoe. Yes, it is very hyped up, but that's not why I like the shoe. So this release is very similar to this shoe in that it's the same sneaker, different colorway though. So I'm really excited to have another pair of these in hand to be able to rock. I've worn this pair so much, and hopefully I can wear this pair just as much in the future. But first, let's take a look at the box. On the top, you've got Aged Well, which is the name of this particular collaboration. It comes in this glossy salmon-colored pink. And then something that I actually didn't notice until I was filming B-roll of this box. This box actually has what seems like a photo of the original launch for this shoe during All-Star Weekend in Chicago, which is where Joe Freshgoods is based, or Joe is based. And I was actually at this release. I didn't get the shoes from there. New Balance actually sent me these. Shout out to New Balance for that back in 2020. But I was at this release. I saw this line. It's crazy. It's so cool that this is sort of immortalized on the top of the box. It was a wild release. So yeah, very, very cool. On the sides of the box, you've got Joe Freshgoods in this sort of like light tannish pink color, New Balance, all sort of 3D, which is kind of cool. And then you've also got Fabrique de plus de 75, I don't know, something in French. Oh, that's definitely what it says. It says made in the United States for over 75 years. There you go. And then you've also got Made History on the bottom, Joe Freshgoods right there, which is pretty cool. He did make history with New Balance, you've got to admit. Same sort of deal on the back, you've got StockX tag. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did cut off the StockX tag already on the shoes. I did buy these from StockX for more than what resale is now. I bought them, I forget what their instant ship is called. It's like super fast shipping or rocket shipping or something like that. Bought it for that. So I think I ended up paying like $320 or something for them, which is still not terrible, but I think they resell for like $250 now. Got the logos right there. And then on the front of the box, you've got the size tag. I grabbed a size 9, which is my true size. And the official colorway of this shoe is not on the box. All right, so without further ado, let's pop off the top, check out these shoes. Well, for the first time for you, but for me, I've seen them before, but they are sick. So here we go. We've got the New Balance 992 Joe Freshgoods Aged Well collaboration. And man, side by side, it's cool. I get the concept. The concept is that you wear this shoe so much that it eventually turns into this shoe because it's aged well. I've worn this shoe a lot for the last 5 years since I got it. It does not look like this shoe, but I like the idea a lot. Obviously, you've got your New Balance tag here. It looks like you've also got a bunch of sets of laces, which are cool. Wow, this one's really cool. I'll talk about that in a second. We've also got the other shoe in the box right here with looks like some more New Balance tags, aged well, right there. Oh, there's a whole like bio thing on the back. In 2020, Joe Freshgoods and New Balance embarked on a transformative journey, a collaboration that would ultimately redefine storytelling through the lens of a black voice. It's often said that the true essence of a relationship lies in the ability to draw strength from one another, igniting the spark of innovation. Very cool. So there's more to it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it really is a lot, but we'll talk about some of this in the review, so stay tuned for that part. But here's the shoe. Looking super clean. The materials feel just as nice as the original, I'm not gonna lie. I think that is everything inside the box. Let me get the box out of the way. Let's take a real quick look at these laces. So it looks like you've got a couple different lace options. You've got this white lace with, it really does look like they've sort of tie-dyed it a little bit with these like brown, almost like dirt marks, which is kind of cool. It's generally the same color as the standard laces, which are sort of a very, very light pink. You can see them right there. We'll lace these up, obviously, to throw these on. You've got salmon-colored lace, which matches with the salmon-colored portions of the shoe. You've got a green lace, which is a cool accent color, and then a blue lace, which I'll be honest, I may eventually switch out to kind of match the blue laces on the original pair that I have. Because these came with, I think, black or red laces. I don't remember exactly what they're in the box somewhere, but I switched them out to blue laces because I like the blue laces. I also might keep them standard with the light pink laces too. I don't know yet. But yeah, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 extra lace options inside the box, with these white laces with like the tie-dye on them being the most interesting of the bunch. Not a lace I want to put on the shoes, but cool to have them. But yeah, overall, they're sick. So let me pull off the tags, let me lace them up, and we will get into the full review. Back in 2020, Joe Freshgoods and New Balance dropped their first collaboration together over All-Star Weekend. The drop consisted of 2 pairs, the New Balance Omnis and the 992s. This New Balance X Don't Be Mad collaboration was called No Emotions Are Emotions, aka The Anatomy of a Heart, and it came in tonal reds and pinks, and it was straight fire. I'll be honest, this was the drop that really put me onto New Balance. I had dabbled before, but these 992s These were it. In fact, I still have my pair today, as you can see. And honestly, it's probably one of my most worn pairs in my entire collection, and somehow it's still in reasonable condition. What's wild is that this pair is currently reselling for like $3,000. Now that's probably a product of super limited supply, but in my opinion, it's one of the best collaborations of the entire 2020s. For those of you who aren't familiar with streetwear legend Joe Freshgoods, aka Joseph Robinson, he's a Chicago native who came up alongside Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, Rocky Fresh, and the Save Money crew. He's become very well known for blending streetwear, culture, and storytelling, and much of his work features a heavy Chicago influence. Before his collaboration with New Balance, he made his name as a designer by selling t-shirts in high school and later co-founding the well-known streetwear store Fat Tiger Workshop in Chicago. Through this storefront, he sold his clothing, like his Don't Be Mad line, which later evolved into Joe Freshgoods Inc. And of course, in 2020, he started his breakout into the sneaker world with the legendary 992s. Now 5 years and many New Balance collaborations later, he's dropping the aged well 992s, designed to look like an aged version of the Anatomy of a Heart 992s. Yeah, I can see it. I really like the concept. Now, if you want to get your hands on a pair of these New Balance heaters, whew, this is stupid. They've already released at multiple places, but the largest worldwide release takes place on New Balance's website on February 28th, 2025 for a retail price of $229. Of course, if you miss out on this pair for retail, I've made sure to leave links to this shoe through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen and through affiliate links in the description below. Although the 992s have once again become very well known in the sneaker world because of Joe's collaborations, it's not a pair that releases very often. The original 992s released all the way back in 2006 to commemorate the 100-year anniversary of New Balance. And as you might have been able to guess from the name 992, it draws inspiration from previous sneakers from the 990 family and incorporated some new details to make it a more modern release for the time. But hey, at this point, let's throw this pair on feet, which I've been looking forward to for a very long time, and find out how they fit.
All right, so I've got some new shoes to show you. I want to get your opinion on them and also show you the old version of the shoe and the new version and see which one you think is worth more money.
Okay.
So here are the new ones. These are the Joe Freshgood Aged Wells. Here are the old ones, the Joe Freshgood Anatomy of a Hearts. They're both the same shoe, except this one's designed to look like a more worn pair of this one. Might have given it away with which one's older and newer, but which one do you think is worth more money and how much do you think it's worth?
I don't know if you gave it away. I feel like sometimes the older ones are more expensive and sometimes the newer ones are.
Yeah.
Let's go with the newer ones. They probably put more effort into it. Hopefully better material or something too. I don't know.
No, that was wrong.
See?
The materials are all the same. Anyway, how much do you think the old one's worth? If you had to guess.
Know. So it's the more expensive one?
Yeah, by like a lot.
Oh, okay. I don't know. 200?
3,000. Yeah, I know. Shout out to New Balance for sending me these back in 2020.
How much do the new ones go for?
Like $300. Yeah.
Why? What's the major difference?
Those ones are just like super limited, and these ones aren't as limited.
That's it.
So, that's it. Well, I mean, those ones look nicer in my opinion, but these ones are still clean.
Yeah, I do like the older ones better.
Really?
But
I would have thought you liked the pink ones better.
That's pink?
Yeah, it's like rusty pink.
It's like salmon to me.
It's supposed to be an older version, or like an aged version of this, because like this is his first shoe with New Balance. This is his 5-year anniversary shoe with New Balance, so it's like an updated take.
Wow.
It's supposed to look like you've worn this one every day, all day for 5 years, and then this is what happens. I mean, obviously the black wouldn't change to pink.
No, none of that would happen.
No, but
none of it.
The idea is there. The concept is there. I like the concept.
I mean,
Okay,
they're both cool, but I'm just still stunned by the price difference, and it's only because of, I guess that makes sense when something's more rare.
There you go. What would you give these guys out of 10?
They're cool. I don't know, 6.
Wow.
What?
Really?
6 or 7, yeah.
I thought your favorite color. This is like close to your favorite pink. I mean,
that
it's
is not a muted pink. There are some muted pinks in there, like in the sole.
I mean, this is kind of like the entire shoe, I would say, is kind of a muted pink.
Where they like replace the black with like muted pink in the sole. That's the pink I like.
I mean, that's the same pink that's here on the midfoot, and then here.
It gets.
And then here. This is the only sort of like clayey pink.
That's there's a lot more orange in the top.
Well.
And it's like becomes salmon, which is a fine color. It's just not my favorite color.
Well, I figured I would actually pair these with the brand new Amber Victoria socks that are pink. I mean, there's 4 different socks, but these are the pink ones that I'm pairing. I feel like pink on pink. And they're all mid-tops. So there's 4 different mid-top socks dropping. People have been asking for mid-top socks for like months, actually years. And now we have some. It actually looks more white out in the sun, but it is a pink.
No, it looks pink.
Oh. People do say that I'm colorblind in videos.
I was just gonna say, you're having a tough time with pink.
It literally looks straight up like, it looks pink around, I don't know, whatever, they're pink. Okay, let me throw these guys on feet, see how they feel, see how they look. I'm assuming they feel just like the originals. I feel like that's a fair guess. But either way, grab the Amber Victoria socks this Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, APTHCRY.com. Yeah, sizing wise, they feel just like the originals. They feel like 992s, and for me, 992s fit true to size. So that's what I'd say. These are a size 9, I'm a size 9. I say grab whatever size you are, and you should be good to go. Standard 992 comfort. It's nothing like it's gonna blow your mind, but it's definitely Definitely comfy. On foot, does it change your opinion at all?
I was gonna say they look nice on foot.
They do look nice on foot. What about with the amber socks?
I was gonna say, could it be the socks?
Could be the socks, could be the socks. I think it's the shoes and the socks.
Yeah, they look
to
nice.
be honest, but I actually met Joe Freshgoods once at a New Balance event. The guy who collaborated on these shoes.
Oh.
Yeah, I was wearing that pair, and he came up to me. He was also wearing that pair. He's like, "How do you have that pair?" And I was like, "Yo, New Balance says me." He's like, "Oh, cool." Yeah, man. He's a cool guy. He's really nice. I like him a lot.
That's nice that happened. You really don't always get shoes sent to you that often.
Not anymore,
So
no.
I know. So it's nice that when you do, they're nice ones.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna head back to the studio.
But at this point, let's dive into the materials that make up this fire collab. Starting off around the toe, you've got this sort of salmon pink suede mudguard that feels buttery. Now just above that, you've got this sort of, I guess, lightly tinted pink or almost gold padded mesh. It's actually one of the details on this shoe that sort of differ from the original release. If you look at the original release, it's more of a dark maroon color than this shoe, which even if you age this, I don't think it'd ever be this color. But still, I like it. I think it's a nice touch. The eye stays of the shoe come in a mix of salmon pink suede and this super soft, almost orangey brown leather. I have a lot of good things to say about New Balance, but the biggest thing is that the material quality is ridiculous. This shoe feels premium, and I mean, it should for 230 bucks, but still, feels great. Weaving through the eyelets, you've got these flat cream colored laces. They're sort of like a light pinkish cream. And of course, you also get all the other laces, which we talked about in the unboxing. I think I'm gonna stick with these cream colored laces, but I might switch it out. I mean, I switched out the laces on the original colorway to blue. I thought the blue was a nice contrast with the red. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna wear it a couple times with these laces and then make a decision after that. The tongue comes in the same mesh used on the toe and features some of that super soft orangey brown leather towards the top. And in the center of the tongue, you've got your New Balance branding towards the top and your end towards the bottom. And then in the middle, you've got JFG, which of course stands for Joe Freshgoods. On the original release, this panel was reflective and says DBM, at least on the right shoe, which stands for Don't Be Mad. Moving inside the shoe, you've got this sort of pale tan sock liner, which is really nice and padded. I like it a lot. And then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got this interesting sort of orangey red insole, which comes with this abstract pattern, which again is a callback to the original, but I think that shoe came in more of like a reddish and pink. Yeah, here's the original up against the new pair, and actually looking at the back, the foam is different that they used. This insole, this newer one, feels a lot nicer, actually, a lot thicker. Moving back in the shoe, you've got more light pink suede overlays, which look incredible, and then in the center of the midfoot, you've got this actually a reflective pink New Balance logo. I didn't know it was reflective, so I got it in the studio lights, and it kind of has that reflective glint to it. But in regular sunlight, or just in regular lighting, it just looks like matching pink with the rest of the upper. It also has a white border around it, which contrasts the rest of the upper, which I think is a nice touch. Towards the back of the shoe, you've got more of that darker salmon colored suede on the bottom half of the heel, and then on the very back of the shoe, you've got more of that Joe Freshgoods branding. You've got 992 on the lateral side, and you've also got the New Balance logo on the sort of heel clip. The midsole of the sneaker is split between a very light pink in the forefoot and a much darker pink towards the heel. It's sort of almost a mauve color. And when you compare it to the original, it does differ because the heel of this shoe comes in black, which I don't think even with age would turn into a pink color. I think it might become like a light gray or some yellow. I don't think it would ever change from black, I'll be honest with you. That being said, I do think the pink was a nice touch, and I like how this shoe is sort of a monochromatic clay salmon pink color. In both the heel and towards the forefoot of the shoe, you've got your Absorb SBS cushioning, which makes this a relatively soft shoe underfoot. I do think this shoe is very comfortable overall. Like I said, I've worn this pair so many times for traveling, for just walking around. It's gotten wet, it's been through so much. It's actually funny, it doesn't look like this one even though I've worn it for the last 5 years. But personally, I think a lot of the comfort of this shoe doesn't come so much from the midsole, but it comes more from the very well padded upper, which is still somehow somewhat breathable. I mean, underfoot it's kind of soft, but it doesn't feel that much different from like a standard EVA midsole. It is supportive though, which is a good thing. Then moving to the bottom of the shoe, you've got a black rubber outsole with a blue and red hit with the 992 branding in the midfoot. Although it doesn't look how this shoe looks after 5 years of age, I do really like the concept, and I think Joe Freshgoods once again absolutely killed it on this release. This colorway is super clean, super wearable, and in my opinion, absolutely fire. I personally think Joe has cemented himself with some of the best collaborators of the decade. I think he's up there with definitely Salehi, probably Virgil. I think he's really up there. He's doing amazing things, and every release that he's dropped has been very, very clean. There's not one that I actually don't like, which is surprising. I feel like a lot of, even Virgil dropped stuff I didn't like, and Virgil's like my favorite designer of all time. So I don't know, he's killing it. I mean, his work is consistently excellent, and his storytelling is unmatched, and this collaboration is no different. I think it's a fitting homage to the last 5 years of his collaborations with New Balance. Now, although I love this concept and I really like the way this shoe looks, I do still prefer the original, and that's not just because of the hype. I genuinely like this colorway better, but this is still super clean, and I'm still gonna rock this a bunch. But hey, which pair do you prefer? Hype aside, do you prefer the aged wells or the original Anatomy of a Hearts? And are you grabbing the aged wells when they drop this weekend? Let me know in the comment section down below. The good news is this pair is presumably way less limited and hopefully a lot easier to get, and resale right now isn't bad. I think it's like around $250, possibly $300 depending on size. And again, you can grab this pair through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen or through the affiliate links down below. As always though, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.